The flashing red and blue lights reflected off my windshield as two squad cars boxed me in at the entrance of my own neighborhood. My kids sat frozen in the back seat, clutching the bags of groceries we had just loaded into the car. The officers approached cautiously, hands hovering near their holsters. "Sir," one of them said, "we've received a report of suspected theft. Multiple calls about excessive groceries being transported from a local store." I blinked, my jaw tightening. "Excessive groceries?" My wife whispered, pale. "She did it," Kieran called them. And in that moment, I realized we weren't just facing an embarrassing misunderstanding. We were about to be publicly humiliated in front of our entire neighborhood because of the one person who thought she ruled it. Karen. Queen of our HOA. That Saturday morning had started like any other. My wife Laura had carefully planned a massive shopping trip. With the kids about to start school and my parents visiting for 2 weeks, we needed to stock up. I had even borrowed coolers for the car to keep things fresh. By the time we rolled out of the warehouse club, our SUV was packed to the brim. Boxes of bottled water, bulk packs of snacks, fresh produce, freezer goods, and some supplies for the community BBQ my family had volunteered to host. As I secured the final case of drinks in the trunk, I noticed a familiar figure across the parking lot. Karen. Shoulder-length blonde hair, oversized sunglasses, clipboard in hand, and an expression that could sour milk. She wasn't even subtle. She stood by her car, snapping photos of our overloaded trunk like she was gathering evidence. Laura groaned. "Of course she's here. Don't make eye contact." But Karen marched toward us, heels clacking against the asphalt. "Buying out the whole store, are we?" She sneered. "This is suspicious. Nobody needs this much food unless they're hoarding or selling it illegally. It's for our family," I said evenly, shutting the trunk. "And part of it's for the block BBQ next weekend." Gear. "Welcome, by the way." Her lips curled. "Don't get smart with me. I know the rules. No bulk storage, no resale, and certainly no stocking up for outsiders. This is a neighborhood, not a flea market." Forced a smile and ushered my kids into the car. "Enjoy your day, Karen." As we drove off, I could see her in the rear-view mirror, phone pressed to her ear. Eyes locked on our car. By the time we reached the neighborhood gates, I knew something was wrong. 2 police cruisers were parked there, blocking the road. As I slowed, one pulled in behind me, lights flashing. My kids stiffened in the back. "Daddy, are we in trouble?" my youngest asked. Laura reached back to comfort them. "Of course not, honey." But her voice trembled. The officers approached, looking oddly serious for what I assumed was a traffic stop. "Sir." One officer said, "We need you to step out of the vehicle. We receive reports of suspicious activity, possible shoplifting, or illegal bulk purchase." I almost laughed. "Are you serious?" "We bought groceries." With a receipt. But as I glanced to the sidewalk, my stomach dropped. There she was, Karen, standing smugly with her phone out, filming everything like it was her personal courtroom drama. "There they are, officers," she called out. "Get that car packed full. No normal family needs that much. Told you they were up to something shady." By now, curious neighbors had gathered near the gate. Some peered from porches, others whispered behind hedges. The officers, doing their job, asked me to open the trunk. I complied, popping it open to reveal an avalanche of bulk groceries. "Karen?" gasped dramatically. See? Who buys 50 pounds of rice unless they're reselling to strangers? They're breaking HOA guidelines, and probably state laws too." "Ma'am," the officer said patiently, "HOA rules aren't enforceable by us. We're only here for possible theft allegations." "Oh, it's theft," Karen insisted. "Nobody can afford that many groceries unless they're scamming. I saw them leave the store. No way they paid." I pulled the crumpled receipt from my pocket and handed it to the officer. He scanned it, eyebrows raising as he saw the itemized list. "Everything checks out," he said. "Paid in full." But Karen wasn't done. "That receipt could be fake. I demand you detain them for questioning. This is my neighborhood, and I will not have hoarders endangering us." The officer sighed, clearly annoyed. "Ma'am, filing. False reports wastes police resources. This family hasn't broken any law. But Karen only grew louder, yelling about food smuggling and un-American hoarding, making the entire spectacle a neighborhood scandal. Something in me snapped. I was done letting her harass my family. I raised my voice, making sure every neighbor heard. Karen, you've crossed the line. You called the police on my kids for carrying groceries. Do you hear yourself? Gasps rippled through the small crowd. A few neighbors nodded, glaring at her. Laura stepped forward too, holding up her phone. Good thing I recorded everything from the moment you started harassing us at the store. She hit play, and Karen's shrill accusations filled the air word for word. The officer's expression hardened. Ma'am, that recording confirms you knowingly made a false report. That's a misdemeanor. Karen froze. Wha? No, I'm the HOA secretary. I'm protecting property values. By abusing emergency services? The officer countered. It's not protection. That's harassment. For the first time, Karen's confidence faltered. Neighbors who once kept quiet began speaking up. She did the same to me. One woman admitted. Called the cops because I had too many Amazon boxes. And me, another man said. She reported my teenage son for mowing lawns, said he was running an illegal business. The crowd swelled with murmurs of agreement, voices rising against her. Karen's face turned crimson. You're all ungrateful. Without me, this neighborhood would fall apart. I am the only one keeping order. The officer shook his head. Ma'am, you need to come with us. Filing a false police report is serious. You'll need to answer some questions downtown. Karen's jaw dropped. You're arresting me? Me? Not them? He gestured toward my car. His family bought groceries. You lied about a crime, but you're coming with us. As the officers guided Karen toward the cruiser, her voice shrieked through the night air. This isn't over. You'll regret humiliating me. I'll have you all fined, evicted, punished. But no one listened. For once, her threats fell flat. My kids peeked out the window, eyes wide. Daddy, they're taking her away. I smiled and nodded. Yes, sweetheart. Sometimes bullies finally get what they deserve. Neighbors approached, apologizing for not standing up sooner, thanking us for exposing her. Some even offered to help unload our groceries. Laura exhaled shakily, squeezing my hand. Finally, she's been stopped. Weeks' word spread quickly. Karen was formally charged with filing a false police report and harassment, while she avoided jail time. The HOA board voted to remove her from her position. For the first time in years, the neighborhood felt free. People hosted barbecues without fear of fines. Kids played in driveways without constant surveillance. And laughter replaced whispers of paranoia at our own family BBQ. The one Karen had tried to sabotage, the turnout was bigger than ever. Dozens of families came, bringing food, chairs, music. One neighbor raised a glass and said to the family who finally stood up to Karen, cheers erupted. My kids beamed with pride. Laura leaned against me, whispering we turned humiliation into victory. I smiled, looking around at the community finally united, not under Karen's iron fist, but under shared relief. And deep down, I knew this wasn't just about groceries. It was about standing up to bullies, about refusing to let fear dictate. Our lives, Karen had tried to use power, lies, and intimidation to control us. But in the end, the truth had been louder, and justice, once again, had prevailed. This story is just the beginning. There is so much more ahead. Subscribe to the channel. To join me on this journey,